One of the things that really hurts your salespeople's chances of getting a sale is when they sound like a salesperson. I mean, oddly enough, when you sound like a salesperson, all of your prospects' defenses go up and the opportunity to have a really productive conversation go down. This is Sales Untraining, a very different kind of sales podcast. 3 out of 4 salespeople are failing. They're falling short of their revenue. Why doesn't sales training work? That's what this sales podcast is about. It's your weekly sales strategy guide designed to rewire your sales brain. Welcome to Sales Untraining. I'm Kelly Riggs, and it's great to have you alongside. Hey, take a moment, if you would, like and subscribe to the podcast. Share it with someone who needs to be a part of the conversation. How do we improve the ways in which we train salespeople so we give them a better chance to be successful in the field? Well, in today's episode, I want to talk about something that I just see way too often, and that's salespeople who sound like salespeople. I was in a role play conversation with a client a couple of weeks ago, and one of the people that I was working with, they were the salesperson, I was the prospect. Yes, we were doing a role play. I know it probably makes you crazy, but we were doing a role play and opened up the call, and I mean, it was just almost like a caricature of a sales call. Everything about it just screamed, I'm a salesperson. I'm here to collect a commission. Oh, man. My good friend Larry Levine, he calls it commission breath. Yes, it's not a good thing. But, I mean, there's just things that people do that cause them to sound like a salesperson. And listen, the bad thing about it is the minute someone gets that vibe, oh, salesperson, all their defenses go up. I mean, it's the windows closed, the shades come down. They don't want to have anything to do with you because they know what's coming. There's some very predictable things that are going to be happening, and they don't want any part of it. You know what the worst one is? People tend to equate salespeople with wasting my time. There is very little that you can do that is more aggravating to a decision maker, a manager, a department head, someone who can make decisions about your product, hopefully that's who you're calling on, than wasting their time because they don't have enough time to begin with. And here you are taking up their time. It's mind-boggling that you would interrupt someone and then waste their time, and they know it's coming, and they know what it sounds like. Listen, let me give you half a dozen things at least. Well, let's look at 5 things that salespeople do that label you salesperson. I mean, you might as well just stick a sign on your head that says, I'm a salesperson. I am here to waste your time. If you had a brain in your head, you'd tell me to get lost. Well, one of the things that you can do right out of the chute is to be unprepared. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. How can you walk into a sales call unprepared? Well, Kelly, you don't understand. I mean, I'm just magic in front of the prospect. I mean, I'm so good. I mean, I could just wing it. Those days left the building back in the 70s. And the idea that you walk into a sales call thinking, well, I'm just going to get something going here and then we'll kind of see where it goes. And I mean, it's crazy. And the very worst part of that is when a salesperson asks one of the most damaging questions you can ask. It's actually a statement. Tell me about your business. I'm sorry, what? Tell me about your business. Yeah, I've had that question asked of me before as a buyer. Tell me about your business. Listen, with all due respect, I don't have the time to tell you about my business. If you've got a specific question that I can answer, great. But if you can't do your homework, I'm not going to do it for you. Does that sound harsh? Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it is. It should be. What kind of individual walks into a business conversation unprepared? Terrible idea, something you should get away from. Well, the other side of that is we get 3 sentences into the conversation and you're already selling me something. mean, you're already, oh, well, hey, you need that? Well, that's what we do, and we're great at it. In fact, we're the best at it. We've been around longer than anybody else. Let me tell you about our product. Pull out a brochure, pull out a sample, pull out something. Start talking about your product, your service right out of the chute. And if you're listening to this, you can't see it, but if you're on YouTube, you can see the customer. I mean, they just really, you can see them fall back in their chair, cross their arms. It's like, oh boy. Okay, so how do I get out of this mess? Because the last thing I want, less than 3 minutes into a conversation with you, is for you to start selling me something. I mean, I equate it to dating. I mean, you're 3 minutes into the date. Really? You're trying to close the deal? Come on. What are we doing? It makes no sense whatsoever. Number 3 is you've been taught as a salesperson to ask questions. So here you go. You start asking questions. You sit down, thanks for seeing me. I really appreciate your time. Hey, I've got some questions for you. What are you using now? How long have you had it? Is it under warranty? Do you have a contract? Do you have the maintenance plan? Okay, why are you asking me all these questions? Well, I know why you're asking, because like every other salesperson who walks in the door, you want to figure out what I have so you can figure out what to sell me. And then you're going to go straight to number 2 and you're going to start selling me right away. So we think that, well, I should ask good questions, and good questions in your mind. Well, of course, I need to figure out exactly what you're using. Terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. Well, number 4, and I've done an entire podcast on this in the past, but you want to get labeled salesperson real fast? Start making all these generic claims about how great you are, how great your company is, how great your product is, how amazing your quality and service is, and you're the best in the industry. Generic claims, unsubstantiated. Just stick a sign on your chest that says salesperson. And the problem again with that is people are out. They don't, listen, every single person that walks in the door says these kinds of things, and these things always end badly. So how do I get rid of you? Okay, well, all right, so what do you got? Show me what you got. Immediately, you're into number 2, showing the product, selling the product. Okay, I got to endure that for a couple of minutes. What does it cost? And trust me, I don't care what you say, it's too much. You know why? Because by telling you the price is too much, I've given myself a good out on this call, this time with you. And I'm trying to cut it short absolutely as quickly as I can. Well, the 5th thing that really labels you salesperson is you just talk too much. You walk in the door talking too much. You don't quit talking. You don't take a breath. Many salespeople talk too much because they feel like they have to. They got to control the conversation. You don't control conversations by talking. You bore people to tears by talking. You make them wonder, when is this ever going to end, by talking. But by talking too much, and by the way, that extends to rapport building. I've had people come in and spend 5, 6, 7 minutes rapport building, asking me about things on my desk or on the wall or my favorite sports teams, or, hey, did you catch that game last night? Yada, 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 yada. Okay, I got it. We're buddies now. Why are you here? And then we go to one of the other things. We start asking questions about the product, or we start selling the product, or you get the idea. Listen, if you get labeled salesperson, you're out of the game pretty quickly. Credibility is the name of the game. Credibility. I need to find a way to be perceived as someone who is credible, who has a good reason for me to listen for another 2 minutes, to gain some more credibility, so that I'll give you 2 or 3 more minutes, so that I'll become engaged and begin to get interested. We're trying to cut this process short. And coming up next, I want to give you a half a dozen things you just don't say to prospects if you don't want to get labeled as a salesperson. Stay with me. Hey, thanks for making Sales Untraining your first listen of the week. And if you find something you like, if you hear something that's interesting, I hope you'll share it with somebody you know. You can find out more about me at bizlockerroom.com or email me, Kelly@bizlockerroom.com. Now back to the show. How are you memorable? The reality is you're not. Even if your product is amazing, even if everything you say is absolutely a fact, it's true, it's not differentiated because everybody else says the same thing. So you're not memorable. But if you're the one person that says something that's truly unique, specific, differentiated, again, a lot of different ways to do that, a lot of ways to approach it, and then you say, as a matter of fact, let me give you an example. And you share a third-party customer success story, maybe even with a testimonial, something they've said. You know, we've been able to do that over and over. This is what customers say about working with us that they enjoy, but I've given them a whole vignette. Welcome back, Sales and Training. Well, we're talking about how not to sound like a salesperson. The name of the game, the first sale you make, it's not your product, it's not your service. It's your credibility. If I believe in your credibility, you begin to impress me as someone who might have something reasonably good for me to look at, potentially to help me, then we're moving down the road. After that comes my belief that you have an expertise or a knowledge about something that could truly help me. You see, trust is absolutely necessary in the road to the sale, and trust takes time. So if you're trying to get the proverbial cart before the horse, talking product, asking for the sale before you've even earned the right to do so, then you sound like a salesperson. This whole process is going to get shut down, and it's not going to end well. You're going to get ghosted, or you're going to go into the follow-up cycle that never ends. You can never get a response, or they're putting you off every time they do pick up the phone, which you may not be using the phone, so they're just not answering your emails. That's a whole nother story. But let's talk about some things that if you use these phrases, absolutely going to label you as a salesperson, and it's going to put an enormous amount of friction on your opportunity to get a sale. Well, the first one is the word solution. We provide a complete solution. We have an innovative solution. We have an industry-leading solution. Everybody is selling solutions, because we're solution sellers. We're not peddlers. We're not salespeople. We're selling solutions. Please, just stop. Okay, I mean, it's become such a trite, overused, overdone, worn-out word that people, if they even hear it, all it does is click the switch that says, salesperson, okay, I know what's coming next. Leave that one out of the bag. Now, some of you may be going, well, I use that one all the time, and I use it. Everyone wants to find the exceptions to the rules. Listen to your presentations. If you're a sales leader, watch your prospects' reactions when you say something like, well, we have the best solution in the business, or our solutions are unique and different than others. This falls into that broad category of generic claims just as well. But the word solution, it just doesn't mean anything to anybody. So if I'm you, I'm looking for alternatives, different ways of saying what you want to say, things that sound more conversational and real world than some of the made up words that we bring into our conversation that we never use anyplace else other than when we're selling. Number two, I love this one. Listen, we're going to be competitive. We'll be competitive. That's the same as saying, I'll lower my price, just ask me. But salespeople want to put people at ease about price. Well, how much is this going to cost? Well, let's say, here's what I can tell you. We're going to be competitive. Or you give a price and they go, yikes, that's a bit more than I had in mind. Hey, not to worry. We'll be competitive. Good. You are a salesperson, and I am prepared to exploit the idea that you're a salesperson, because since you don't know how to talk about, communicate, and sell and articulate value, you're going to be competitive. Get ready. You're going to be taking some dollars off that price. Number three, one of my favorites. Hey, we really care about our customers. No, we care about you. Okay. Well, here's my assumption. If I'm going to spend a bunch of money with you, I would hope at the very least you would at least care about the way it's going to work. You're going to care about the outcomes we're going to get. You're going to care about how we perceive you as a vendor. So I'm hoping you'll do a good job because, yeah, you actually do care. I mean, but if you have to tell me we care about our customers, makes me nervous. Why are you having to tell me that? Salespeople have this odd notion that if I say something like that, it'll strengthen our bond and our relationship. We really care about our customers. Okay, good for you. Number 4, does anybody ever use this line anymore? Yes, the answer is yes. Some variation of it used to come from the old car sales day is, what do I need to do to get you into a car today? You know what the version is that people still use? Kills me. Hey, what do we need to do business with you? Okay? What would I have to do in order to do business with you? That's a shortcut question. I don't want to go through discovery. I don't want to have a real conversation. Really don't know how. So what I'm going to do is cut to the chase. Hey, what do I need to do business with you? That's easy. Give me half off. Give me 2 for 1. Actually do your job well? I don't know. Number 5. Do you have any projects we can quote? Do you have any quotations we can work up for you? Do you have any bids we can participate in? Why, really? Why would you ask that? Well, because I'm a salesperson. Yep, I know. You sent that signal pretty strongly. It's amazing to me what salespeople will do to try to get a bite at the apple that they have no business getting the opportunity. That's one of them. The last 2, just amazing. What do I have to do business with you? Hey, do you have any projects that we can quote or any bids that we can quote you on? Number 6, this is the all-time killer of all time. I've read more about this one on LinkedIn than probably any of the phrases that I've used. Just don't use this one ever. Hey, I'm just calling to follow up. Okay. Knock yourself out. Follow up. Well, no, I mean, I'm calling to follow up. I mean, have you had a chance to review our proposal? No, been really busy. I've been out of town. No, we've been in meetings. No, I've got 100 no's. Which ones do you need? If you're just calling to follow up, you've already dug your own grave. You're done. The party's over. You're not getting invited. Okay? Listen, do not sound like a salesperson. Why? Because it's going to create a lot of resistance against what you're trying to do, because all of my defenses as a prospect are going to go up. It's going to make your job harder. Work at not sounding like a salesperson. I'll see you next time.
Sales Untraining is a production of Business Locker Room and Pod About It Productions. Music and editing by Doug Branson. To get more Kelly, visit bizlockerroom.com.